What's going on, guys? In this one we're going to be making blooming onion, and if you don't know what that is, it's an onion cut into a blooming flour, hence the name. And we're also going to be doing a spiced flour mix for that onion to get coated in, dip it into an egg wash and then deep fry it, and also serve it along with delicious tangy mayonnaise. Please sit back, relax and enjoy. Alright guys, let's start this off by making a base mayonnaise. So in a tall jar or container, add 200 milliliters or 200 grams of olive oil, 1 large egg which will help emulsify due to the fat, 1.5 teaspoons or 15 milliliters of white vinegar or lemon juice to add a bit of acidity, 1 teaspoon or 10 grams of Dijon mustard for a slight tang, and sea salt flakes to taste. Place in an immersion blender and blend on low speed to emulsify, creating our nice thick mayo, and this can be done by hand, but when combining the ingredients, add them all in except the oil, and whilst vigorously and continuously whisking, slowly pour in the oil, otherwise if you were to add it all together the mayonnaise would split. I know some people like to call themselves machines, but sorry, you're definitely not as powerful as one. Also, once finished, definitely don't do this. I had to remake the mayo, and unfortunately we lost a member of the kitchen equipment today. Anyway, once you're actually done, place the mayo into a clean bowl, making sure to scrape it all in there using a spatula, and to this add in 1 tablespoon or 20 grams of tomato ketchup for sweetness and colour, 1 tablespoon or 20 grams of horseradish for a slight sweet tang, 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of Worcestershire sauce for a deep umami flavour and fragrance, 1 teaspoon or 2.5 grams of garlic powder for that concentrated aroma, 1 teaspoon or 2.5 grams of smoked paprika for that nice smokiness, half a teaspoon or 1.5 grams of red chili powder for a little heat, which is optional, a small pinch of sea salt flakes, and of course, 10 cracks of black pepper. This can then be given a quick mix until combined and smooth, which will allow those flavours to become friends, and then place this in the fridge until ready to serve, and it will last up to 3 days in the fridge. Now for the main attraction, get yourself the largest brown or yellow onion you can find and slice off the tip, leaving the root intact, which will hold it together, then peel and place the scraps into stock. With the root facing up, we're then going to slice right next to the root directly down, rotating the onion to create 4 slices in the shape of a cross. Once done, continue slicing the onion, but this time in between each cross, then go in between those new slices one last time, creating 16 even slices the whole way around. Let's now flip this over and being very gentle, start peeling back each individual slice and you'll notice it start looking like a bloomed flower, hence the name of this recipe. It is also important to make sure every layer of the onion is separated, that way we can get the flour and egg mixture in there. Place a large pot over a high heat and pour in enough canola, sunflower or vegetable oil to fill it by half, or enough to completely submerge the onion, and heat this to 170 degrees Celsius or 340 degrees Fahrenheit using a thermometer for accuracy, or until the oil is heavily shimmering. To make the egg wash, add 1 large egg to a mixing bowl along with 250 milliliters or 1 cup of full fat milk. Break the egg up with a whisk and mix until combined and smooth. As for the flour mix, in a large clean bowl add in 150 grams or 1 cup of plain all-purpose flour, half a tablespoon or 6.5 grams of corn flour or starch, which will help with the crisp texture, 1 teaspoon or 2.5 grams of ground cumin for that nice earthy warmth, half a tablespoon or 7 grams of smoked paprika for colour and smokiness, a pinch of sea salt flakes to taste, and definitely 20 cracks worth of black pepper. This can then be given a quick mix using a fork or a whisk just until everything is combined, and now we're ready to dredge the onion. To do so, place our blooming onion into the flour mix and very gently rub it all over the onion, making sure to get each layer completely dredged for maximum flavour and crispness. You may have to peel back and separate a few layers and try your best not to pull it apart, but you're more than likely going to lose 1 or 2 little pieces, which isn't the end of the world. Transfer the dredged onion into the egg wash and do the same process, which will now make the flour become very sticky and create almost like a first layer of crisp shell. Let's now place the onion back into the flour mix and coat one last time, which will now become extremely sticky, and you may need to separate some layers again just until you have a very nicely coated blooming onion. As our oil is now hot, use a utensil to gently place in the onion, with a kitchen spider being the best option if you have one of course, and fry this for 5 to 6 minutes or until the onion is beautifully golden and extremely crispy. Once achieved, gently remove it from the oil and place it over a wire rack or kitchen cloth to drain. Also allow the oil to completely cool down, then strain it and you can use it again. With it fresh out the oil, seasoned to taste with sea salt flakes, and then what we've created here is this beautiful and extremely crispy blooming onion, which is a meal on its own or the perfect side to so many dishes. Don't forget to serve this up with that amazing tangy and smoky mayonnaise, placing down the blooming onion alongside it, and then all that's left to do is peel off the tender and crispy layers, dip it in that mayo, and we can then dig in.